Hey y'all, I'm the Eclectic Blerd, and welcome to another Eclectic Review. Today we're going to be reviewing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3, entitled The Power Broker. Before we begin, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that like button and comment on this video. As you know, we kicked off our campaign on the road to 100, and then we're going to be on the road to 500 and 1,000. We just want this channel to continue to grow so we continue to show you all the content that we have for you. So go ahead and give this channel a subscribe. All right? All right. So let's get to it. So episode 3 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, this episode was so much about, to me, Zemo and Sarah. So it starts off with Sam and Bucky just kind of talking in this room where Sam like, hey, where we at? And Bucky just giving this story about when he went to go see Zemo. And basically Zemo broke out of a high security jail with a note. So I know that's why so many people love him as a character in the MCU, because he's so smart, but people always kind of forget that he was a soldier as well, and that he knew how to murk people as well as being smart. But he broke out of jail with, like I said, a note. So he walk up in there, and they're in this place with all these retro cars, and of course, Zemo owned all of them. He went and got some stuff out of the car, his little mask and everything, right? Then they go to get on a plane, and so I'm like, man, bro, you was in jail. How you still got money? He's like, look, bro, I was royalty. Y'all destroyed my country, but that don't mean I'm not royalty no more, son. And so they get on a plane, and Zemo is basically doing things to agitate. So he took Bucky's little book that he was writing all the names in, and kind of say, hey, I'm reading this next thing with all these names. Who is? And Bucky gets up and like, oh, don't touch it again. I'm going to kill you if you touch it. And Sam like, oh, yeah, they used to be your boys, right? He's like, yeah, I told him about the Trouble Man. You like it? And Bucky's like, well, nah, that ain't me. I just like the 40s music. And of course, Zemo like, yeah, that's just the black experience. You need to listen to it. And Sam was like, man, bro, this ain't about you, but he ain't wrong, son. And so then they end up going to a place called Madripoor, which is basically in probably every movie that you'll see in this unscrupulous area that's like a pirate haven that survives, right? So that's kind of where they went. And so they're going, and Sam's pretending to be some guy, Smiling Tiger, whatever. And he made a comment like, why am I dressed like a pimp? And they're like, no, it's just a fashion for the Americans. And I'm like, look, every 70s thing I ever saw, he had on. So if that ain't pimpish, I don't know what it is. But I digress, right? So they go, and Zemo is like, don't say nothing, stay in character, and be doing what I say so we can all survive this thing. Man, they go up in there, and he's in there like, yo, I need to see somebody. And when they walking through, he basically says, get ready, Winter Soldier, because of course Bucky has pretended to be the Winter Soldier at the time, and Zemo, of course, is himself. So he just says that to let people know that he's in the building, right? Hey, I'm a criminal mastermind. Of course, I can walk in and out where I want to. So all that's going on. And for some reason, the pimp that Sam is playing likes to eat stuff out of a snake. So that was the drink, so he had to drink that thing. That was pretty funny, but I was like, ooh, that's pretty nasty. But the thing about the whole thing was they came up and like, Zemo, you ain't welcome. And then he spoke in his language and told the Winter Soldier, do your thing. So Bucky went and just kind of beat down about 8 people in the room without breaking a sweat. And Sam was shocked because he haven't never seen that part of him before. And but right when it's about to happen, I was like, oh, Shelby will see you now. And so they went back there and they had to stay in character and everything. Just so happened Sam's phone rings and they're like, oh crap. And they're like, nah, open it up. So they open it up. Of course, they get a name from Shelby, but she's trying to make other negotiations. Then Sam's phone rings. And it's his sister, but he's pretending like, again, hey, kind of, I'm a criminal, I'm a pimp. He's not when acting like a pimp, but he's acting like a criminal himself, saying, yeah, I'm going to take care of stuff because she was talking about the bank. Then he just, right at the end, she said, Sam. And I was sitting there like, I knew it. And at that point, somebody shot Shelby from outside. I don't know how she got shot like that. Once that happened, all of a sudden they're fighting, they're running, and all these phones start dinging. And all of a sudden, they got a bounty on their head at that point for killing Shelby. So they get down there, and about 4 people on them. Then all of a sudden, they all get shot down in the alley. And they're looking like, hey, what happened? And Zemo was like, man, y'all got a guardian angel something around this joint? Sarah showed up. And she's like, man, bruh, y'all ruined my life. I'm gonna come on now. And they're like, oh, ho. So I'm like, nah, bro, how you been? Everything's good. And she's like, come on, I come to Hightown, I got a place. And apparently, Sarah decided to get into the criminal lifestyle and was selling stolen, you can call it stolen art. And doing all, she was living a high life actually. She lived in like a mansion and she was living pretty. And if you're living like that, do you really want to go back to the US? Right? I'm still not feeling that she's actually become a criminal mastermind herself. Just kind of feel like she's working for somebody, but maybe she's not. And but she owns all that stuff. So Sam's talking to her like, hey, you need to come back. We're sorry. And she's like, I can't come back. And I'm thinking, why would you want to go back? You living a life. Why are you going back to something where people don't want you there? But again, I digress. So they're looking for this doctor that created the serum, right? She find out where it's at and taking them there, and they go in there, and the doctor was like, yeah, I was working for Hydra. Then Hydra failed. Then I started working for the government. And then right when I figured out how to isolate the serum from the test subject, which is Isaiah. So I'm feeling kind of some kind of way already. And he said he got blipped. And when he came back, hey, they didn't want it no more. And so the power broker wanted it. And they're like, you got it anymore? Like, no. And Zemo was like, oh, cool. Bang. Shot him right there in blood. Because, Zemo got a thing like, these super soldiers don't need to be around. That's just his thing. And so he did that. Sarah run in like, hey, what did y'all do? Of course, the power broker probably going to be pissed after this. Somebody shoots, doing all this outside of where they were. Sarah just kind of protecting where they were because she knew people was going to be coming for them. Man, she was murking everybody in sight. I was just like, man, girl got skills. She just was hitting people with knives, just shooting people in the head, John Wick and everybody up in the joint. It was something else. It was something else. She really put some skills out there for people like, oh, she got some real skills out there. But everybody forgot that, she was in SHIELD and then she was in the CIA. So she actually had some skills, right? So she murked everybody. Then she ran in there and like, we got to go. It's too many of them. And right at that point, that's when Zemo killed the doctor. They went to go, then somebody shoots a rocket launcher into where they were. And of course, it's stuff in there that's gonna make it explode. They run out. They run different ways and kind of get kind of cornered. And they're shooting Sam and Bucky fighting and they're like, well, y'all be quiet. And then Zemo comes out with his little mask on, shoots a gas line, comes down, and murks two people. And like I said at the beginning, people forget dudes wasn't no joke. He just smart, but he wasn't no joke. He know how to do that right. And then they went to go run and trying to escape the people that's chasing them. They go in one spot, then Zemo sees something comes around. He's in a car. Sarah decides to stay, of course. Of course she would. Why would she want to go back to the States when she living the high life and get what she wants? But is she the mastermind or she work for somebody? I need to think that through. So they go, leave, trying to find Carly next, because that's the next person to look for, because there are no more serums out there, apparently, according to the doctor. Right? And so, next stop, Carly. Then they switch to Carly, and they're outside this facility, this global repatriation facility. And then they have a conversation, and they go in and basically break into the facility to steal the food and supplies and stuff that were just sitting there. And for some reason, she was like, man, y'all had this stuff sitting there for 6 months worth of stuff and people need it. What is wrong with y'all? And so from a juror's standpoint, Carly's fight is the right fight, right? So you're basically stealing medicine for people, you're stealing food for people, you're giving people stuff they need that the global government is not doing. And when that's happening, you just got to kind of figure that out, right? And so, but at the end of the episode, she planted a bomb and blew up a car outside the building, which blew up the building. And one of her colleagues was like, man, bruh, what you doing? And she was like, they don't understand nothing but stuff like this. So I'm feeling Carly, but man, she on that line between being, I'm fighting for the right thing and being overly radical. But, she all right. She all right for right now. And so all that's going on, right? And so as we looking at all that, and you really think about what happened in this episode, it really was about Zemo and Sarah, right? And all that went on. So they go to the city where apparently Carly's at, because they got a name, which is the, I forgot her name now, like the auntie, mother, the person that took care of Carly. They got sick. So they got their name, so they went to that town. And when they get there, they're walking up into the other place that Zemo has. Of course, he's rich, so he has another place he can go to. Then Bucky's like, hey, I'm finna go for a walk. And they were like, you good? You're like, yeah. So he goes for a walk. He's picking up these little balls and everything. They're like, okay, where you at? I know you're here. I have your stuff. Bruh, Ayo is standing there like, I'm here for Zemo, son. They brought a Wakandan onto the show. Oh my God, it was so great to see her. And so great that they brought a Wakandan on the show. And that there's a little bit of connection there. That's nice. That's nice. So the end of the episode really brought a lot of different feelings for me, because unlike a lot of other people, for me, this show, even though this episode was a little different than most of them, but I still could see it through it. I'm watching the show through the lens of Sam. And when I'm watching through Sam's lens, I feel like I'm watching through a Black experience. So everything that a Black man would feel with the stuff that's going on, that's what I'm feeling. That's why I was so easy to concentrate on when the guy was like, oh, we had some test subjects to get the sound. Like, test subjects? Man, bruh, the dude had a name. Test subjects? If that's how you do it, that's what y'all think about Black people. So that part. But I felt happy when I saw Ayo at the end of the show. That was so great to see. But overall, another great episode. I'm loving the series. I can't wait to get to episode 4 and 5. Yes, I kind of waited to watch them all back to back. So after I'm done with this video, I'll be going to watch the next episode, and then we'll be doing another review. All right, y'all. So again, I want to thank y'all for coming watching this review with me. Like I said, we do a bunch of other different things. We do top fours, we do other shows. Right now, we're doing Stranger Things, right? And we're going to be kicking off another different shows with different type of content about what's trending. So all that's coming. So like I said, we're on the road to 100 right now. And so just, again, help us get to that 100. And if you want to just kind of get to know me or talk to me about different things that's not on this YouTube channel, you can follow me on Twitter at Blerd Eclectic. Blerd Eclectic. You can follow me on Instagram at the_eclectic_blerd. Or you can follow this channel on Facebook at What the Soul. Thank y'all again for checking out this video. Until next time, I'm out.